Hello. In this video I'm going to show you how to sign up for FreeCodeCamp using your GitHub account and then to publicize your activity on FreeCodeCamp so that you can share that for the purposes of your programming classes, and you could also share that with employers or friends or family, anything like that. You could put it on, link it on your public website or your LinkedIn or something of that nature too. So first what you'll do is you could first sign into GitHub so that you're logged in, but I'll just show you right now I'm signed out of GitHub. You should have a GitHub account at this point associated with your college or university email, and then you'll want to go to freecodecamp.org/learn. And so what's at this location is FreeCodeCamp's free curriculum for learning programming, including lots of topics on web development, data visualization, databases, math, and all kinds of different certifications and free courses. And you can literally just click on these and start one and just get started. You don't have to log in with anything, and you can just save this to your browser and go. But what you'll want to do is amass a portfolio of things that you've accomplished and save your progress. And so they allow you to sign in to do that. And I'm going to suggest that you do continue with GitHub so that it's just easy to connect that to an account you already have and you don't have to remember one more password. So I'll just sign in with this account I created for the email that I have, email.vccs.edu, Virginia Community College email, and sign in with the password. Oops, missed a character. And then I'll have to do two-factor authentication with Duo. And it's going to ask to authorize. It just wants my email address, and that seems to be pretty much it. Takes us back and we're signed in to our account, so that's great. Now if we click on this avatar in the upper right, this will take us to our profile, and you can see I just have this long UUID or unique ID that identifies me, so that if somebody were to enter my profile, they could see things about me. Right now, by default, for your privacy, nothing is shown on there, and that's something that I'm going to want you to change so that you can publicize these things. But a challenge that you'll have is sometimes when you're logged into an app, you'll see information that the public internet doesn't. And so a way we can get around that is open an incognito window and enter the address of our public profile. And so you'll see that this user needs to change their privacy setting for you to view their portfolio. So this is an issue if you want to share your profile with me or with an employer or put it on your public website. So how can we do that? Well, first I'm going to click edit, and I see there's this long username, and I'm going to see if I can pick an easier to remember username, like for example, for simplicity, if I can just use my GitHub username, that would be awesome. So that's, all these things are the same. Somebody goes to my GitHub profile, I'm ng2466, maybe that one is available. And so it's going to validate, and hopefully it's available. Looks like it is. So now I'm ng2466, and if I reload the page, my profile page, yeah, it's not going to like that, so I'll click to the avatar, and it's going to take me to freecodecamp.org/ng2466, kind of like GitHub will do. So now if I paste this in the incognito window, you'll see same issue. ng2466 needs you to change their privacy setting, but that is a valid account. So let's go and figure out what we want to put here. So let's say for privacy, I just want my first name. That's completely fine. And I also don't want to have a picture or my location. If I want to link my GitHub, that would be fine. and then I could add a portfolio item. But what I'm going to do next is work on those privacy settings. So if you now go to Menu and then Settings, there's going to be a ton of settings in here. The first one I want to draw your attention to is academic and honesty policy. So this is going to be a necessity for you to publicize your certification projects. So as part of FreeCodeCamp Learn, there will be all these different courses, and so some of these will just be kind of scaffolded learning. So it'll tell you some stuff, it'll have you try some stuff with some code, and then it'll check your answers. But then at the end of each one of these blocks of courses, there's going to be a certification project. And you can do these in any order you want, but they're meant to be gone through sequentially. So if you go to the certification project, in order to publicize this on your profile, basically when you finish this project, you'll have kind of a finished little mini app that you can show off, and somebody can even look at that on your profile. So the academic honesty policy is important because you could easily cheat on these, just like you could cheat in school. And so as part of giving these certifications out, to make sure there's legitimacy in what they're doing here, they need to make sure that people are not copying code and engaging in plagiarism. So you need to agree to that academic honesty policy, make sure you read and understand it, and that you're not just putting code into FreeCodeCamp that is somebody else's, that it should be your own, so that when you get those certifications, you honestly have the skills that are required to do those projects. So next I'm going to go to privacy settings, and I'm going to click My Profile Public. So keep in mind you'll have to hit save for any of these settings. You can change them all at once, but you'll have to click save. But you can see if I go to my incognito window and reload, now my profile is available. You can go to my GitHub, but that's all you can see there. So the other thing, I'm fine if people know my name because it's just Nicholas in there. My location, I'll just leave those things private. I do want people to see my certifications, so if I finish one of those projects and they validate that I completed it, I want to be able to show that off. And then on my portfolio, I will also click public in case I want to add portfolio items, and my timeline, this one's very important as well. Your certifications will be disabled if set to private, so you got to make sure those both are there, and then click save. And then what happens here is when you reload, it's going to give their certifications and their timeline. It says this person hasn't done any certifications or any activities. But what happens is when you go to clicking on the logo to go to the home page, which is freecodecamp.org/learn, and then let's say I want to work on the JavaScript algorithms and data structures course, and I start on this one. This particular step is literally just trying to get me to click the check your code button so that I understand how the checking works, and then I submit and go to the next challenge. And then it says let hello. So use the let keyword to make a variable. So I'll say let character semicolon, and it worked. So now if somebody comes over to my profile, even though they're not logged in as me, they can see that I did this particular task and I completed it on this date and time. And that list will start to grow as you do more things. So that's super critical. You need to have your profile public at a minimum. You want to have in settings, under privacy settings, you want to make sure you have your profile is, whoops, what happened there? My profile is public. And the name I don't care necessarily. The certifications is public, the portfolio is public, and the timeline is public. And then make sure you hit save. And again, just to double check that, go into an incognito window or another browser where you're not logged in, and make sure that you can see this by just going to your freecodecamp.org/your username, whatever that is. So that should wrap it up for this video. You're all set up, and at this point you can go to FreeCodeCamp Learn, and you can start literally any of these. Oh, I'm in the incognito window, whoops. You can go to literally any of these courses and just get started and start learning whatever it is that you want to learn. or work on these certification projects. And then when you get done with all these certifications for a certain course, like the responsive web design, for example, when you get them all done, then you can go to settings and claim a certification for having done all of those things. Finally, I can show you for my FreeCodeCamp Learn. Actually, I can just show you in the incognito window because it's public. If I go to my actual account, which is NJG4NE, at least I thought it was. No, sorry, it's my more humorous username. Then you can see my timeline of completions. And for example, if you look at one of these certification projects like build a survey form, not only does it have the completion time, but it says view, and somebody can view my code, and then they can also view what my project looks like when it's built out and how they would interact with it as an app. And so that's really cool. For example, you want to put that on your resume and show employers what you're capable of. They can literally come here and say, how does this person write code, and look at your code exactly as you wrote it. So that's again why that academic integrity policy is important to agree to, because you don't want to plagiarize somebody else's work. But this is a really great way to just learn for free progressively and publicize your project to the world. So thank you for watching. You should be able to now go to FreeCodeCamp, log in with GitHub, and publicize those aspects of your